know how I'm gonna do this another day. But when you look into my eyes, it gives me strength. And I'll stay with you when the night gets too dark. And I'll stay with you when you can't lift your arms. I'll hold you up. I'll stay with you. 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 No matter what, in darkest nights, I'll always be by your side. No matter what, in darkest nights, I'll always be by your side. No matter what, in darkest nights, I'll always be by your side. By your side. And I'll stay with you when the night gets too dark. And I'll stay with you when you can't lift your arms. I'll hold you up, and I'll stay with you.
Hello, I'm so sorry I'm late. I have 3 80-pound shepherds. They're good-sized dogs. Well, this morning, I won the bid on a storage locker that I had bid on Wednesday. So I tootled myself over to El Dorado because I think I can pick this up all by myself, no problem. I get over to El Dorado, I get the storage locker, everything's fine. I'm on my way back, and I get a call from animal control. She says, "Do you have 3 German Shepherds?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "They're in my truck." I said, "Well, I know they got out this morning and went in my neighbor's backyard." I said, "But I brought them back in my yard and fixed the fence, or fixed a hole in the fence." She said, "Well, they got out again." And I found them on Summit and Dearborn, which is about 9 blocks away from here. And she said that was a busy road and she was concerned about my dogs. So I met her at the shelter and I got my dogs back in my truck. I brought my dogs home. I found the spot where they got out of the fence again. And I put this big old, because they actually busted my neighbor's board this time. The first time, all they did was push the nails out and push the board out and did that. So this time, they actually busted the board and pushed it out of the way and got past the wire that they've got. I don't know if it's electric or whatever, but being they're huge dogs, they just go right over their 3-foot fence. Hello, H. Davis. Hello. Well, there it is. Okay, I was going to say, that's weird. It's not showing that there's anybody in chat. So anyway, we get the dogs back in again. Then I'm on the phone with my husband and I'm talking to him about having to fix the hole and what have you. Well, then I look out the window. I said, I'm going to check on the dogs. So I looked out the window. No dogs. So I go out in my backyard to make sure the dogs aren't underneath the porch or something like that. No dogs. They have busted through the fence again and gotten out. So my son's in the house, and the police department calls my phone. When he won't answer it, he said, "You're on the other phone." I said, "I've got 2 headsets. Answer my phone." So anyway, then the animal control lady tries to call me, and I can't hear her, but she can hear me. So I call the police department back, and I'm like, "Okay, so I am this person, and the animal control lady's trying to get a hold of me, but I can't hear her on the phone." She said she's heading over on Bobby Street because she got a report that your dogs are out. I said, "I'm on my way to get them right now." So we go over to Bobby Street, which is only a block behind us. I mean, the road right behind our property is Bobby. And so I go over there, and my dogs are over there just tootling around, playing in somebody's yard. You got to make fence. We have 8-foot fences. But they're busting the boards. They're private. One of them's a privacy fence, and they're busting the boards. And I even put hog wire there, and they dug underneath the hog fence, the hog panels, and they dug under it. So we've blocked it, and I put a table there, turned a table on its side and put there, and I've got it up against the fence and everything. Hopefully my dogs won't get out again. But we are ordering halo things for them, that we set the little machine in the garage, and then the dogs can only stay inside the perimeter. It's GPS tracking, and we can make the perimeter however we want it. So our dogs will be able to go into the front yard, which I'm not going to allow because I want to put a garden. And the only place I can put a garden is in my front yard. So, because my dogs tear up my garden. So I have to have it in the front yard. Unless I make a space where my dogs can't go near the fence and whatever, but I don't know. We'll figure something out. But we are ordering this $500 halo fence and it's for all 3 dogs. And it'll cost $10 a month to keep the GPS tracking on my dogs. And we can take the system with us. It runs off of, you can Wi-Fi to it. And if we go out to the lake and go camping, we can take it and set a perimeter, and we can have our dogs right there at the lake with us. So that's good. And if my stepdaughter comes and brings her dogs, we can shorten the perimeters where my dogs can only go in half of the yard, and then her dogs can go in the other half of the yard, and they won't be able to get to each other, which that's going to be a bit iffy because her dogs would be able to get into my dogs, but my dogs wouldn't be able to get to her dogs. And her dogs are pit bulls. So, okay. So now that you've listened to my dog fiasco I've had all day, I'm going to put out a video in the morning because the first part of the video is me bidding on the storage locker. And then I went to the Goodwill. And then the second part of the video, or third part of the video, is me actually winning the storage locker and cleaning it out. So I did that. I got it all here, went through it. There was money in there, jewelry, and I found the owner, the person who owns the storage unit, and I'm regifting gifting the love, or whatever you call it, regifting the love or whatever, because I found her mother's death certificate and the deeds to their property and her high school class ring and her baby book from her children and that kind of stuff. And to me, that's important. And put a bunch of family photos. And I found her original engagement ring, and I found her. I looked her up because it had a lot of her mail in it. So I looked her up, and so tomorrow I'm going to ship her valuables that were her, like her mom's death certificate and her mom's belt and her engagement ring and her class ring and the deed to their property and all this stuff. because the deed to their property was dated 1828. So that's old. So I'm going to send all that back to her and all of her photographs and the things of her children. So that's restoring the love, and that's what storage unit buyers do. If they can find the owner, they restore the love. So yeah. Yes, my dogs are very strong. When they are standing on their back feet, they're from foot to nose, they're like 6 foot. And they're crate trained. All three of my dogs are crate trained. But my husband came in at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the dogs weren't expecting them. They were in their crates, and I was in bed asleep. And Joker, I call him the middle dog. Batman's the alpha, Joker's the middle, and Riddler's the puppy. Because Riddler's a year younger than Batman and Joker. So, Joker is actually one of my protectors. Batman is he's for my headaches and stuff like that. And Joker is my protector. And he actually got out of his crate. I mean, pushed the sides of his crate out so he could get to. My husband's like, stop your dog, stop your dog. At 1 o'clock in the morning, because the dog didn't expect him to come down the stairs. There's not supposed to be anybody in that bedroom. So I have no fear of sleeping in my room at night. It's just that simple. I have no fear of my house getting broken into, because I can literally just open the door and my dogs. All I have to do is open the door to my stairs, and my dogs are up the stairs, and they will get whatever's not supposed to be in the house. So, okay, let's do the fair use disclaimer, because this tells their fair use and that it's copyrighted material on the website does not in any way diminish or affect the market value of the original product. So there we go. And then we're going to, yesterday the state questioned Anita Knutson's mother. She's an 80-year-old lady, little bitty tiny piece of thing, and the state put her up on the stand first and questioned her about her daughter. And today we're going to get a cross-examine from the witness, from Nichole's side. Nichole's attorney is going to cross-examine her. So I'm going to bring this onto screen. And this is credit to Law and Crime. The link is in the description. Pull this up. And then this is going to be the last half of the video. Oh, let me put some music in.
First of all, Mrs. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I got to turn it all the way up because we can barely hear her.
College, high school and college.
So they met in high school, you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
You're not getting me? You hear me now?
Is your battery
Okay,
back
I can
on?
hold it too. Sorry about that. Did you know Nichole very well in high school or in college? Or
No.
Did they go to the same high school?
Yes, they did.
You said you knew Tyler Schmaltz as well.
Yes.
this is a long time ago. This is in June 2007. Do you recall meeting with the detective Barnard, doing an interview? Right?
Yes, I remember it very
A long
well.
time ago.
Okay, I've got the volume all the way up on the computer and all the way up on my speakers, and the attorney is just very hard to hear. I may have this music in the background a little too loud still. Let's go to there. That sounds better.
I'm not going to hold you too tight to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall Detective Barnard asking you about Nikki at all, about Nichole?
No,
No. Do you remember talking about Nichole to him?
no.
We have shot callers, but they ignore them. They all three have shot callers, but they ignore. And if I'm not home, I can't shop them anyway.
No, I don't. I know he was rude. He was talking Anita Aunt down.
I have to actually go out there and find one of their shot callers. One of them, the battery died. It's in my bathroom charging. One of them, I don't know where it is. They took it off of the dog. And the other one, the battery's totally dead on, so I've got to charge it too. But he won't let me near him to take it off of him because he likes to have his collar on. And I can't get him to lay still long enough for me to charge it with it on him.
Like she was a street person.
Detective Barnard was.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things did he say?
Well, at that point in time, there was a club on Main Street for all the teenagers. No, I don't.
101 maybe?
I have no idea.
Okay. What did he say about the club?
That she went there and danced. And I didn't get his point other than he was not making her look like a nice girl.
Was he saying it was like a sleazy kind of club?
No.
What was he
But
saying about
it was like he thought she was better than going there, you know. Mm-hmm. But she would go and she always went with her girlfriends. Mm-hmm.
Did you know that she went to this club 101?
Yeah, she told me.
And it was like a dance club? Is that
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this conversation with Detective Barnard, do you remember?
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI.
Did he talk to you about whether Nikki smoked or drank?
Okay,
No.
thank you.
I'm sorry.
I don't. Oh, no, she didn't. No, not that I know of. And
Do you remember telling Detective Barnard that she didn't, but Nichole did?
mm-hmm, that I remember.
Do you remember talking about Nichole's in beauty college and the house stunk? There was hair dye all over the walls from her.
No, I didn't. I don't remember any of that.
So you're saying Anita didn't drink or smoke or anything like that?
No. That I know.
Do you have any idea about the people that she might have met at this Club 101?
No. She didn't go that often because she was too busy with school and her 2 jobs.
You said that Nikki did not go to prom with Tyler Schmalz.
I don't think she did. I don't know who she went with.
Okay. But he wanted to be her boyfriend. It sounds like she wasn't.
Right.
Do you know at the time Nikki died if Tyler lived in the same apartment complex that she
And Nikki didn't die. Anita
I'm
did.
sorry, Anita. That'll be the last time I do that. I apologize.
Thank you.
When
That
Anita died, do you know if Tyler was living in that apartment complex?
no, he did not.
He didn't live in that apartment complex.
Not to my knowledge, he didn't. He lived in somewhere else.
And I know this is a long time ago, and it's
Mm-hmm.
Anita was at Tyler's a lot?
No, I never said that.
If I showed you a copy of the transcript of your conversation,
Mhm.
Detective Barnard, from June of the 5th of 2007, pointed you to a certain spot, would that maybe bring your memory
I
back?
doubt it.
Can I show it to you?
Sure.
I'll point right where it's at, ma'am. So do you see where he says, anything else, Ms. Knutson, you want to add? You say,
Objection, Your Honor. They're reading from this transcript, which is not evidence.
No, this is not.
Ms. Knutson, just hang on one second. Mr. Sand, did you wish to refresh her memory with that?
that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
Yeah.
point her to the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't read it for her if she, I'm sorry.
No.
Ms. Knutson, if you can just read it, then he can ask you questions about it. But you need to read it to yourself, ma'am.
Okay, I did.
Okay, then. He can ask you questions if he likes. But
Just want to make sure you're ready to make part. It's
Right.
right here, ma'am.
No, that's not even.
okay, now you need to ask the questions. Take that away.
So in response to the question, anything else, Mrs. Knutson, you want to add?
Objection. He's reading from this transcript, Your Honor.
I'm asking what she responded.
You're not reading it, question? All right, you can ask your question.
After looking at that, do you recall talking to Detective Barnard, telling him she spent a lot of time?
No, never.
Okay.
That I know.
Okay. I know the state had asked you this, Ms. Knutson, but was Anita's death one of the most difficult things your family faced?
Yes.
And have you guys been hoping for answers since it happened?
Yes.
Hoping for closure and justice?
Right.
You deserve that.
I would think so.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Serga, do you have any redirect, ma'am?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Sharon, what was your mental state and emotional state like in the days and weeks following Anita's death?
It was a lot of blank. Just going through the motions of living. And I had to call her biological family in California and let them know. It was a lot. It's still hard.
Do you have a lot of active memory of around that time?
Some.
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA?
Sorry about
Well,
that.
for starters, our premium.
Some, yeah.
But mostly, what is it for you?
What is it? It's a child, regardless whether she's your biological child, but had her all those years. And she had plans, and we had plans for her. It's not that. It's not going to happen.
Do you have a lot of specific memories of what you and your family did in the days and weeks following Anita's death?
Not all of it.
Who handled most of the arrangements? with regards-
Gordon did.
Gordon handled that.
My husband.
Were you involved in it?
No, I wasn't there mentally.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Mr. Sand,
That's
any-
terrible.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Is Ms. Knutson here by subpoena?
She is, Your Honor.
Is she excused?
She may be.
Mr. Sand, do you have any objections?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Knutson, you may come and go as you please, ma'am.
Thank you.
Take your time getting down and please watch your step. You may call your next witness, please, Ms.
Your Honor, state's next witness is Gordon Knutson.
All right. I know. We will need to take just a short recess for that purpose. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I apologize, but there is a necessity to do this. I want to give you what's called an admonition. I'm required to give you this admonition anytime you leave this courtroom. This admonition will apply to you the entire time this trial is going on. If
Go ahead, please.
Now they're bringing in her 90-year-old dad. Well, I guess not.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to truthfully answer the questions you are asked about your qualifications?
Sorry.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
The questions, you can read them.
So we're clear for the record. The ADA assistance is necessary for Mr. Knutson's hearing loss. This would be a real-time translation of the questions asked of Mr. Knutson so that he can read them and then respond verbally. Ms. Sorgen, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please state your name for the record?
Gordon Knutson.
Okay, it's good.
Again,
Say that for me one more time.
Gordon Knutson.
Wow.
Meet the all-new Movavi video editor. Edit quickly and easily.
You're Anita's dad, is that right?
That's right.
How old are you, Gordon?
90.
And you have some hearing loss, is that correct?
Yeah, very much so.
I'm going to speak slowly so that we can follow along for questions, okay?
Okay.
We heard from testimony from your wife earlier that Anita was a college student. Is that right?
What do you want, baby?
That's right.
Where did she go to school?
Wayne State College, I think.
And where did she live while she was going to college?
I don't know the address. Is up in North Hill. What was found it again?
What city?
Sorry, my cat got on my keyboard.
Mine.
And what county is Minot in?
Don't
I don't, but I can't think of it right now.
Does Ward County sound familiar?
That's right.
Had you ever been to Anita's apartment?
Yes,
How many times had you been to Anita's apartment while she lived there?
I believe 4 times.
And what did you do when you went to that apartment?
You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Well,
You got treats?
a couple times just to pick her up, but one time I fixed in the bathroom, the fan was making a lot of noise, and well, actually, it wasn't even hardly running.
Did you ever fix anything else in Anita's house, or Anita's apartment?
No,
Did you ever do any installation of anything in Anita's apartment?
no.
Gordon, how's your memory?
It's like my hearing, very poor.
Sorry,
Gordon,
I had
do
to
you
go
know
feed the
what
cat.
school year, what year it was that Anita lived in that apartment?
Uh, 2007.
Who did Anita live with?
Nichole.
Did you ever meet Nichole?
Yeah, when we rented the apartment.
Gordon, I'm going to draw your attention to June of 2007. You were living where at that time?
I didn't get all that. In Butte, North Dakota.
Did you ever have occasion to go to Minot?
Did I ever have occasion to go to Minot? Sure.
You did. Okay. What would you go to Minot for?
Well, we do shopping or whatever. I go there quite often.
You would go there quite often. Did you see Anita when you would go to Minot?
Yeah, but I usually went to where she was working.
Not to the apartment?
Right.
Did Anita have a vehicle?
Yes, she did.
What kind of vehicle did she have?
It was a white panel. I forgot the name of it, Brian.
This is Rocky. It's the first car I ever bought.
That's okay. A sedan, a truck, a SUV, a van.
Well, it was the one that had, the side doors slipped open instead of opened, you know,
But you recognized her car, is that right?
yeah.
Gordon, do you remember a time when Sharon asked you to check on Anita because she had not heard from her for a few days?
Yes, that was the first thing I did when I went that day.
And do you remember what day that was?
That was the 4th of June,
In what year?
2007.
And you said that was the first thing that you did when you got there, is that right?
I don't,
Let me ask a better question. June 4th, 2007, you came to Minot, is that right?
yes, that's right.
And Sharon asked you to check on Anita.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
What did you do when Sharon asked you to check on her?
I said, that's the first thing I'm going to do, is go there.
About what time did you go there?
Well, I think we left right after I had breakfast, and it takes about an hour to get there, so that's about when I got up there.
And do you know approximately what time of day that would have been?
Around 10 o'clock.
About 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you check on Anita?
Thank you, whoever came in to chat. I can see you left already. Okay. So for anybody that comes in, they did the cross-examination of Anita's mother, and now this is the state. North Dakota is now talking to Anita's dad, and he's hard of hearing. So she's saying the questions and he's reading them and then answering them. That's what's taking so long.
I just went up and knocked on the door, and in fact, several times, there was no answer. I tried to see if if I could get in, and it was locked.
Then what did you do?
And I had noticed that her car was there, but I didn't, at that time, didn't think too much about it because she a lot of times went with a friend.
So what did you do next?
Well, I went back to town, because this is in North Hill where she lives, and we all three of us got what we needed. Then I started home, and Sharon called me and said she still couldn't get a hold of Anita.
I'm going to back you up a little bit, Gordon. You said all three of us. You had other people with you?
I had two friends with me.
Okay. And so then you received another call from Sharon. So then what did you do?
I turned around and went back up to where she lived.
And about what time was that?
I would say it was around noon, I believe. I'm not sure of that.
And what did you do when you got back to the apartment?
I went straight to the manager's office and told him we couldn't get a hold of Anita and that I would like to see what's going on if she would let me in.
Did you have a key to Anita's apartment?
Did I have a key?
Correct. Did you have a key?
No, I didn't.
Why did you go to find the manager?
To get into the apartment.
Once you found the manager, what did you do?
As we discussed earlier, maybe this can be a thing of the past this tax season, hopefully. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick recently said Trump wants to abolish the IRS.
She said that she could get into trouble if she did that. And I said, you can get into trouble if you don't do it too.
So then what happened?
She got up and got the keys. And about that time, the maintenance man was there also. And he stated that he had found a screen from a window of one of the apartments, and he thought it was from her apartment.
So then what did you do?
So one of my friends, myself, and the maintenance man and the lady that was the manager walked up there. Only thing is, we walked not to the door, but where the window was.
What did you see when you were at the window?
Pardon me?
What did you see when you were at the window?
I seen Anita.
Where was Anita?
She was just lying in bed just inside the window.
How was she laying?
Like face down.
What did you do when you saw her laying face down?
I told her to get the door open.
You told who to get the door
And she
open?
was already going that direction when she did open the door.
And who was it that opened the door?
The manager.
Once she opened the door, what did you do?
I just went in and the door was open to the bedroom and I walked in and I checked her, put my hand on her leg and she was cold.
And then what happened?
I told her that the landlady to call the police, please, but I noticed she already was, and so that was.
And did you stay around until the police came?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Did you give a statement to the police?
Yes, not at first, but then he had told me that he wanted to stay around and identify the body when they took her away.
The the policeman told you that?
And I did that, but then he kept the same person, same police officer came and got me and wanted to interview me at the office. And so we went there, and by that time, there was somebody else that had taken care of identifying the body.
Thank you, Gordon. I have no more questions.
Mr. Sand, do you have any questions for Mr. Knutson?
I do, Your Honor, and I have the same issue. This computer's invited to stand up.
Yes, you may stand up.
I know we've had mic issues. Is that better?
I talked to her.
Can you hear me all right?
Now they're going to cross-examine the dad.
Gordon, I'm sorry for your loss.
Okay.
I just have a few questions for you. You talked with the state's attorney about going to Anita's apartment that day. Do you recall the maintenance man?
The real reason your concealer won't cover dark circles. If you've been trying to cover your dark circles with some of the
His name? No, I don't.
Do you recall talking to him that day?
The only thing I know about him after that was in the paper he committed suicide.
Did he get the screen for you that you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
And he thought that was Anita's screen.
Yeah.
Did you see where the screen was?
No, I didn't. He said it was about out in the middle of the lawn.
Okay. Did he tell you anything about curtains or a curtain rod from Anita's room?
No.
He didn't tell you that he had thrown the curtains and curtain rod back in her room earlier?
I don't remember that, no.
Gordon, do you remember doing a deposition a couple of years ago? Ms. Sorgan and Mr. Becker from our office.
Right.
Do you recall talking about the maintenance man and what had happened at that deposition?
I'm going to let this play. I'll be right back. I'm going to check on my dog.
That's hard to understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall discussing the maintenance man with Ms. Sorgan and Mr. Becker at the deposition?
Right, I recall that. And what he was asking me, well, how many feet away the screen was. And I said, well, I really don't know. He said, well, was it 5 feet or 10 feet? I says, no, more like 100.
Do you recall
He
specifically?
didn't ask me any more about that.
Do you recall specifically discussing how it could have been that the maintenance man didn't see Anita's body?
No, I didn't talk about that. I wondered about it because as soon as I got a few feet away, there was a flower bed, outside at the bottom, so you couldn't get too close without walking in it. But yeah, I knew something was definitely wrong.
If I showed you a page from that deposition, would that help refresh your recollection?
Yeah, I know I made some mistakes on there. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm not saying it's a mistake. Are your eyes okay for reading this?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Knutson, can I have you just review from here to the bottom of the page?
Oh, no.
Guess who just got a raise? Spoiler alert, it's me, thanks to Free Tax USA.
Sounds right.
Okay. And so does that refresh your recollection of that conversation a little bit? Does that help you remember that conversation a little bit?
Yeah.
So, if Mr. Beck, do you recall discussing the maintenance man with Mr. Becker?
Is that what the maintenance man's name is?
No,
I
that's
don't
the attorney.
understand that question.
Sorry. I've shown you this page from the deposition.
Yeah.
Does that help you recall this conversation you had with the attorney at the deposition?
Yeah, I guess it does, but I can't figure why he was asking me where I found it, because I didn't find it.
Well, again, I can show this to you again. It's not about the screen. It's about whether or not you thought the maintenance man could see Anita's body. And then you had said, I'll have you look at it one more time, sir, if that's all right. Just from this line, and this is the most important line right here that will refresh your recollection.
I don't know what you're getting at, so I just,
Did you tell Mr. Becker unless he was blind, you wouldn't have seen her?
all I wanted to do was get away from him asking me where the way he put it, I'm the one that found them, and I didn't. He's the one that told me where it was.
You're talking about the screen? Is that right? Okay. I'm talking about Anita's body. Unless he was blind, you wouldn't have been able to see it looking in that window. But it sounds like you saw it right when you looked in, correct?
I don't know what you're getting at. I don't understand what you're getting at.
I understand that with this card system, it's difficult to understand. When you looked in the window, you had testified earlier that you were able to see Anita, correct?
Right.
And when you discussed with Mr. Becker, whether the maintenance man would have been able to see that, I've had you read it a few times.
If we were standing at the same place I did and he was,
right,
he should be able to see that it was him. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now, was there anything else in particular you noticed about the scene?
No.
No. I asked your wife the same question, but I'm sure you want justice for what happened, correct?
The new and powerful Movavi video editor is almost yours. Complete your purchase.
Yeah.
And you believe you deserve it, correct? Okay. That's all I got, Mr. Knutson. I appreciate it.
Ms. Sorgan, do you have any redirect, ma'am?
Very briefly, Your Honor. Gordon, when Mr. Sand just asked you a question about you standing at the window, you said you knew something was definitely wrong. Why did you say that?
Well, when I seen her laying there, I figured she was dead.
What did you see of her when you looked in the window the first time?
I thought she was dead.
Specifically, what part of Anita did you see when you looked in the window?
Objection, Your Honor, will be on the scope across.
No. Objection's overruled. You opened it up with what was seen by the maintenance guy or should have been seen by the maintenance guy, so no.
So Gordon, what part of Anita's body did you see?
This is going on. Mainly her head, because she had a blanket over her.
What color was the blanket?
It was a dark reddish color.
What color was Anita's hair?
She had black hair.
She had black hair and she was with a dark blanket on her bed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you remember if the lights were on or off when you looked in the window in the bedroom?
They were off.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
Mr. Sand?
Nothing else.
All right, is Mr. Knutson here by subpoena, Ms. Sorgan?
He is, Your Honor.
Is excused?
Yes.
Mr. Sand, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Knutson, thank you for your testimony. You are excused, sir. You may come and go as you please.
You can step down.
Watch your step, please. All right, it's 36 minutes after 5 o'clock. We're going to rest for the day. Just
Okay. So tomorrow we'll get back in and let them call another witness, and hopefully it'll go smoother than this did. Unless y'all don't want me to cover this case anymore of the roommate that unalived her roommate, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's just make them smile, and get Locker.